Hey everybody, welcome back into the WSAZ Now studio. My name is Joseph Payton. This is another episode of WSAZ Sports Plus. I told you that when we got to the new year, we got into 2026, and we got out of football season, and we got into the thick of basketball season, we'd start bringing some guests in here. And we've got two special guests in here. We're going to bring up our triple box. I'm going to bring up their lower third. If you're a Marshall Hoops fan, you know who these two are. Peyton Ilderton, Meredith Maier, part of the Marshall women's basketball team that is playing some serious ball right now. I don't know if a lot of people expected this. You all probably knew you were capable of it. But Peyton, I'll start with you, and then we'll get to Meredith, and we're going to have a big conversation about all this. But 9 wins in a row. I think you all haven't lost a game in, a month and a half, something like that, way back when. It's so far, so long ago that it's hard to remember. Undefeated in conference play so far, 5-0. Got a game tomorrow, of course, as people sit here and watch this stream. How fun has this been? Because it's fun when you're winning ball games, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's been a lot of fun. I think that we have a really tight-knit group, too. So just playing with these girls, especially our last year, it's been awesome. And I think that everybody is just really dialed in this year, so it makes winning a lot easier. So it's been really enjoyable, and I'm excited for the rest of the season.
Meredith, when you think about this last month and a half of winning ball games, you mentioned it makes winning easier when you're doing the things you're supposed to be doing, but winning is not easy. What's been the most difficult part of showing up day in and day out and still delivering the results? Because it's a long grind of a season, isn't it?
For me personally, I'd say it's my body keeping up with my mind. My mind can do it all day long, but it's whether my body wants to hold up. And I think that goes for a lot of our players. I think we play a really physical brand of basketball, and I think the Sun Belt alone is very physical. And so having these many games back to back to back, it's doing their treatments, doing their recovery, and making sure our bodies are intact with our minds and stay in the course. But it's a mental game, and I think everybody on our team obviously wants to win, so everyone's locked in, like Peyton said, and we're dialed in, and we're enjoying it. And for us seniors, we're really just soaking up every last bit of it. So
you mentioned being seniors. You all are veterans in this program. You look around the country, there are seniors on teams, but maybe it's their first or second year in the program. You all have been here, and you understand this program. What's changed for you all maybe mentally, say, versus when you were a freshman and sophomore, getting your feet wet, getting your first minutes in there, as opposed to now where you're leading this thing, whoever wants to start?
I would say for me, just like you said, leadership. I feel like over the course of the 4 years, I've really become a leader, and I think that's been something that's really important to me, and that I'll take beyond basketball, and just realizing that it is important, the game, but there is a lot more to it than just basketball. So just knowing that my identity isn't in basketball, but my identity is being a child of God and just playing for His glory, and that's something that's been really important to me and developed over the past 4 years.
Let's go there. I mean, it's bigger than basketball, right? How do you keep yourself grounded? I mean, I'm sure as a Division I college athlete, it can be a lot mentally.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I know what you're going to say, but how do you keep yourself grounded through all this?
Honestly, to piggyback off what Peyton said, it's really finding your identity outside of basketball. I think it makes the game more enjoyable once you realize how much more special it really can be. But like Peyton said, I mean, finding my identity in Christ has been a huge part of my game, just because I can give Him all the glory. I mean, if it wasn't for Him, then I wouldn't be here where I am today. But truly blessed with that. And then I'd say, also piggyback off Peyton, while finding my identity outside of basketball, you learn to, as you get older, you become a leader. And being here with her all 4 years, we've had to grow into that position. And so I think it's, like she said, going to take us outside of the game for sure. But while we're in it, it's really helped us where we are today.
Yeah. We talked a little bit off camera about kind of the transfer portal and the modern day of college athletics. College basketball is no different than any of the others. We give athletes every reason to head for what we might call greener pastures, right? You all have been here. You chose Marshall. You've stayed at Marshall. You've poured into the community and the program. Tell me why. Why Marshall for you all? Why, have your roots here and do this thing for the Thundering Herd?
Well, Meredith and I are both from West Virginia, so I think that's something that's very special. I mean, my family gets to come to all of my home games, so that's important to me. And then I just think that Marshall is going in the right direction. We may not have all the financial that these other schools have, but this community is unmatched, and I think that we're under great leadership too, which makes it easy to stay. Brad Smith, now we have Gerald. They're very great at what they do, and I think that's a reason that athletes should stay here, and I think it's a big part of why me and Meredith have been here 4 years.
Yeah. I know, of course, you being from Logan, you're a little closer to Marshall University, but you being from the Fairmont area there, was Marshall always on your radar, or was that something that during the recruiting process you kind of came to discover and thought, wow, this is where I need to be?
So when I was going through the recruiting process, I was getting phone calls from all over the country, different areas, of course, but I think what made me want to pursue Marshall was the fact that I wanted to represent my home state. There's something special in that, and there's not many college athletes that get to say they get to do that. And so I thought wearing that name across my chest meant more than some other school, and I wanted to represent it proudly. And like Peyton said, my family gets to come to some games. Yeah, it's a little further up north, but when they do, it means a lot. But it was far enough for me to really just become my own person and, experience life outside of where I grew up, in a sense, while still representing my home state. And so, like she said, the leadership that we have, Brad Smith, Gerald Harrison, now Julie Folks is our first head coach for a consecutive 2 years. And then also the community, it is second to none. It truly is. And in the recruiting process, every coach will tell you our community is great, everyone supports our team, but I cannot say that I've been to a school and seen a crowd like ours show up for the women's basketball team, and so that's made these 4 years really special.
Yeah, if you all didn't love the community, again, you've had reasons to leave. You've played for 3 different coaches in 4 years. Yeah. A lot of transitional periods, I would assume. How has that been, navigating that, getting used to maybe a new system, and you get transfer athletes that come in that are helping you out, and things are new seemingly every year, even though you're in a place that's familiar. How have you navigated that?
For me personally, it's been difficult. I would say for all the returners that we've had, it's not been an easy adjustment at all. It's something that I have adopted from Julie Folks as one of our mottos as a team. It's show up, work hard, and adapt. Adapt is the key thing. And learning 3 different styles of basketball, yes, it's hard, but it's also made it easier for us to really understand the game at a deeper level that most players wouldn't really get to understand. And then again, getting just to represent this school, it means so much to me and to Peyton, I'm sure. And I'm really grateful that this community has welcomed me and I've been able to give back to them.
Talk about Coach Folks, year 2, and we're playing some good basketball. So whatever she's cooking up in practice, it's certainly working on the dinner table, right? What's it been like? Peyton, you can start us off. You've played for numerous coaches, and we're not comparing one versus the other, but just playing for Coach Folks in the here and now. What's it been like?
Well, I think last year she had the same game plan. I just don't think that we bought in, and that's our fault. So I think this year we have a group of girls that really have bought into what she does, and obviously it works. She comes prepared with our coaching staff every practice before every game. We know the numbers. We know what we have to do to win. So I think that having our coaching staff really bought into game plans, the numbers, it has really helped us. And like I said before, we just have a team that wants to win, so we're going to be dialed into our scout, the plays. So I think that's been something that's really helped us this year.
Has she kept you all grounded during this run? Make sure that you're not getting a big head, and then all of a sudden the expectations, people like me and Keith all of a sudden start talking about the conference tournament, and look, it's January, right? Mm-hmm. So how have you all as a team and maybe your coaching staff helped you all just take it day by day and understand that we can't win the conference today, we can't win the NCAA tournament today, but we got to beat Coastal tomorrow?
Yeah, it's definitely taking it day by day for sure, and having that mindset. You don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, but like you said, it's also January, and so that we have a long season ahead of us. And last year we played 5 games in 5 days, so we know what it takes, and we know what it takes to get there. And I think that's the mindset that we're going to take into tomorrow. It's we know what it takes to win, but we want to win at a higher level, and so we're just going to take it day by day, like I said.
Meredith, you think they've got their eye on her on Saturday?
I'd say so. I would say so, for sure. I would if I was the other team and she stole the ball from me and scored the winning layup personally. Yeah. So, sure. But we have a game plan. We're ready. We're excited. It's going to be fun, for sure.
Well, Peyton, talk about that. We don't want to harp on something that happened a couple weeks ago, but since you're here and it was quite the moment and one of the bigger moments of the season, walk me through overtime, the end of regulation there at Coastal Carolina a week ago, because you were the star of the show down the stretch.
Yeah, before every game we have written on our board, find a way. So as a senior, I feel like we both were really good at getting our team to stay calm in a moment like that and do whatever it took to win. So I knew that last possession we needed a bucket. I went and got an and one. Thankfully, the girl fouled me. I couldn't believe it. But then just getting that steal, and I just knew I needed to be faster and beat her down the court. And, I mean, that moment sticks out in that game, but so many people stood out in so many different moments. I mean, Olivia Olson, Meredith, they shot lights out the second half, and we wouldn't have even been in that game if it weren't for them. Blessing King rebounding. So there's just so many different pieces like that. That last 20 seconds might stand out, but this team has so much grit, and I just think that it makes it so fun to play with. You never know who's going to go off in a game, and I think that's something that makes it really difficult for other teams.
For you both personally, what's something you feel like you've improved upon since you've got here on campus? I feel like every time we've got highlights, you're hitting triples, you're dishing, hitting triples as well, rebounding. What's something that maybe you came into Huntington thinking, that's not a great part of my game that now is a strength?
I would say it's not even really a basketball skill. I would say enjoying the small moments and really like letting it set in, because I mean my freshman year I allowed a lot of little things to get to me, you know. Being a student athlete, there's a lot of mental ups and downs, and so now I think I definitely am still working on it, but I'm able to control those moments where I used to get upset, and now I'm enjoying the smaller things and enjoying these moments that won't last forever. And so realizing that this is not a permanent thing and just taking that in and enjoying every moment, because I mean you're not going to hit shots every day. That's no stat is permanent, and so not allowing these stats to control how I feel on the inside. For sure.
There's a lot of athletes, you see it in baseball a lot, I'm sure the same goes for basketball, where they think I'm only as good as however I played in my last game. That's not always the case. And like you mentioned, we've got people on this team that can light it up at any turn, at any moment of a game. Just because you might only have 6 in the stat sheet, maybe those 6 were at the very end of the game when we needed it, right? So are you two kind of the ones now that are looking out for the younger ones and making sure emotionally they're in check too? Because you know what that feels like, don't you? So is that something you feel like you carry with you out there now that you're looking out for your teammates and making sure they're even-keeled as well?
I would definitely say we both do that a lot, just because we've both been through it. That comes with 3 coaching changes, and you know, going through just let alone being a freshman, it's really hard, and not a lot of people understand that. I mean, I think it would be hard just being a regular student. Going to school every day would be hard, go away from home, but you can see different patterns whenever you have like underclassmen come in, and so I think we try to keep an eye out for that, just because I think we can give them advice that we wish we would have gotten at an earlier time. And so using our experiences to help them out for sure is something that we do.
Outside of basketball, when you're going to class, you're out to dinner, whatever, and you're winning games, of course, do you sense an extra pep in your step and even the community too? Hey, you know, we're winning some basketball games, you know? I mean, how does it feel on campus, the buzz? Is there a buzz when you all are winning games? I'm sure you sense it. It has to feel different than when you're losing games.
I would definitely say so. I think even the crowds at our games this year have definitely been different from last year, and I think a lot of people have taken the time to do nice things for us. We've had donors cook dinners for us, so we just greatly appreciate that. And obviously school's not back in session, but even when school was in session, I really feel like the sports teams support each other a lot this year, which has been really fun, especially for our last year.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Not to ask you about the men's team, but they're playing really well too, so we've got like both of this happening simultaneously, and I feel like the Marshall basketball world is coming to life, and they're like, hey, if you haven't been down to the CAM to see these teams play, you have to. So I know I just asked you all this on the air a little bit ago, but for the sake of this episode, tell people, if they're going to watch this tonight before the Coastal game, why do they need to pack the CAM tomorrow? Because it's going to be a big game, and we want to get to a double-digit win streak here.
Well, I would say, one, we beat them last time, so they're coming in hungry. And so I think it's going to be an exciting and intense game. So I think that for me, that's why I would want to come. I'd want to see a good matchup. And then, I mean, like I said earlier, like on air, I think it's just an exciting brand of basketball, and we play together, and we're happy for each other, and we celebrate each other, and we find a way. Like what Peyton said earlier, it's on our board before every single game, and we will make sure to find a way, and we want to protect the CAM, so that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. Is there an underclassman on the team this year that maybe you all knew all along at some point was going to contribute, but the rest of us just hadn't seen it yet, and now they're doing it? Is there someone on the team that sticks out that you're like, oh, I always believed in them, and now here they are? Because at one point that was you all, I feel like.
Yeah, I would say obviously Olivia Olson has had a amazing season. She is a tremendous freshman, so I think that we all expected that. And then you have Cassie Ingram and Timberland Yeast. I think a lot of people kind of sleep on them, but Cassie can come in a game and she's going to get a steal or hit a three, and then Tim plays defense like no other. So just having people like that people may doubt and then come in a game and just prove people wrong, I think it's really it's great to have on your team, just these sleepers that people may doubt, but then they prove you wrong every time.
What's been the most fun game so far, whether it's on the road? We were talking a little bit about the Education Day game. I don't know if that was the most fun. From my point of view, that looked like a great time, and I wasn't even there because I was working that day and anchored and did the highlights. But is there a game that sticks out already this year that you're like, wow, that was a turning point for us, or that was just a lot of fun?
For me personally, Education Days are always so much fun to see the enjoyment in the kids' faces. I mean, that lights a spark under us. We want to do it for them. But I would say the JMU game at home, I think it was just a pivotal moment because it was like they were ranked so high in the conference, and obviously they kind of did us dirty with the rankings this year, but that's to be expected. I feel like we always are the underdogs coming in, but to see us execute our game plan, and we were really gritty, and we found a way, and that was just really exciting just because, I mean, we got to fight against them in overtime our sophomore year, and we saw the outcome with that, so it was just kind of like deja vu, and it felt good to win at the CAM.
Yeah. I'm going to push you on something that you just said there because I sensed an edge, and I know you have it. You all are D1 athletes here. People didn't think too highly of you all in the preseason, did they?
No. Mm-hmm.
Now what, right? And I know the story's still being written, so I'm not asking you to write checks that you may not know if you can cash, right? Mm-hmm. But you're a confident group. When you see stuff like that, that's got to give you a little something extra, doesn't it?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Definitely.
We have a competitive group, too, so I think that it doesn't just light a fire under just us, too, but the whole team, and especially the coaching staff. It sounds cliche to say, but it seems disrespectful. I mean, and if anybody was in our shoes, I feel like it'd feel the same way. But I feel like our team always shows up, and we have something to prove to people, and that's what we've been doing, and hopefully we can keep the streak alive. Tomorrow is a big one. And then we'll be on the road for the next 2 weeks, so we'll see how it goes. I
feel like you two in particular these last few years, really your whole careers, when the lights have been the brightest, all of a sudden here's Peyton Ilderton, all of a sudden here's Meredith Maier. And I think about some of those conference tournament games you all have had. I think you had a big one in the conference tournament championship a few years back, right? Mm-hmm. You want to talk about that? Because you were probably one that maybe the other team didn't account for going off, and there you were. Can you take me back to that moment? It was a big moment for the program. And kind of a coming out party for you, I feel like, as well.
Mm-hmm. That team will always be so special to me, not only just because we won a championship together, but we had so many talented people, and that was truly like a family like no other. And this team that we have this year also reminds me of that, the same vibe that we had my sophomore year. But that game was intense. There were nerves all over the place. But I mean, it was really special, and I honestly, I blacked out a lot of it. I remembered it in the moment, but when I look back on it, I'm like, wow, that really happened. And from a basketball standpoint, I look at the stat sheet. I'm like, I actually didn't shoot that well. I just made some in the right moments. But I think it's because of my teammates. Is Payton. She was the one. She's like, Meredith, you're good. Don't get your head in the game. And then Abby Beeman constantly telling me to shoot it when I was open, having these people that would find me and that gave the confidence in me as well as my coach. I mean, I give a lot of credit to Coach Kim. She instilled my confidence that I lost my freshman year back into me my sophomore year, and then I was able to carry that over and keep that with me when she left. But honestly, in that moment, yeah, it was like a coming out. I kind of got to show some more of my game that I hadn't been able to previously, but it was really just because of this, my teammates. I give all the credit to my teammates 100%, just because nothing is truly done by yourself on the court. So
people will still remember in Huntington that was a big one for Meredith Maier, for sure, and of course the program as well, hoisting a trophy anytime you get to do that. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I might have my years mixed up. I believe you went crazy in one of the, I don't know if it was the quarterfinal game, App State, yeah. Right, last year. That was one they probably didn't expect you to have. You were in double figures. Was it 21 or something like that?
Yep.
I think that's what it was. I may know what I'm talking about. So talk to me about that one, because that was kind of a similar moment that she had the year before. Here's Peyton Ilderton all of a sudden, and I assume you came off the bench that day too.
Yep.
Talk about that. Off the bench, and you're going crazy.
I think it was just a matter of time for me. I feel like I had kind of lost a lot of confidence, but then like I said before, as my faith grew bigger, I knew that, like, regardless if I had a good or bad game, like, it didn't change anything how the man upstairs thought of me. So that lifted a lot of weight off my shoulders. So I just decided I was just going to go out there and have fun and play my game, just a weight lifted off my shoulders. So I hit some shots that game, got to the free throw line. I think I made all my free throws, thankfully. But I think that that's helped me a lot coming into this year, too, just showing that I can do more than just shoot threes. I can facilitate. I can get to the rim. I can make free throws and pressure moments. So I think that that's helped me a lot this year, and it was a big game for me, especially where I have come into a bigger role this year.
Is it fun for both of you to see the other do well? Because I know you all are tight. Feels like in our highlights, if there's somebody hits a big shot, who's the one with a high five? It's the other one, right? I found the old video when you got put on scholarship your freshman year, and you're sitting right next to her. You know, so you all have had these moments together, of course, off the court and on the court. But when you're on the court, talk about that chemistry, because it has to feel pretty comforting knowing that, you know, my best friend's right there with me, right? Whoever wants to tackle that question, that could be something we talk about for a long time, I bet, forever.
I think it's been really awesome getting to play these past 4 years with Meredith, and this year getting a bigger role. I think me and Meredith play really well together, and I know, like, our coaching staff has said that since the summer. They always tried to get us playing on teams together. But I know what Meredith can do, even sometimes when I feel she doesn't. I always like to be there for her because I know that she can go out there and make 10 threes like no other on our team. So I think it's really nice. And if somebody's head is down, we can go to each other. We know how to approach each other. Yeah. We've basically lived together for 4 years. We're like sisters at this point. Yeah. So it's been nice getting to play with each other just because we are each other's biggest fan on and off the court. So
and I know your all's relationship goes beyond just when you enrolled at Marshall. Talk about how you all met and when you started playing basketball together.
So we met, I don't even know what year it was. That was a long
junior year.
Yeah, junior year, a long time ago.
Junior year of high school, right?
Yes,
okay.
Junior year of high school. I joined the Thunder. Peyton had been on the Thunder. Great program. I'm going to shout them out.
For
Scott
sure.
Johnson, amazing AAU coach. He's the reason we're here today, so kudos to him. But we met junior year. I was a shy girl. Did not talk. Now she can say that's changed for sure. But because I was so shy, I was kind of like in a little bubble. And then we played each other in the state tournament because we were on opposing teams, you know. We don't have to go into that too much. And then Peyton had committed in late spring, right? Late spring. And I was already committed to Marshall, and I was like, yes, a familiar face. Like, that was great because I was shy. I didn't really know anybody. And so I was excited to experience this with her for sure. But, I mean, we go way back without even really, like, having that close of ties. But, yeah.
Did you have to help break her out of her shell a little bit once you got on campus?
Oh, for sure. Meredith Maier is a different person today from being my friend.
Yeah.
I'm from a small town, Logan, West Virginia. I will talk to anybody.
You have to. You don't have a choice.
Exactly. So Meredith and me, yes, I definitely helped Meredith break out of her shell.
I'm a social butterfly now for sure.
It's a good thing to be, especially in adulthood, right?
Yeah.
So can I take you down memory lane a little bit here? If I can get the buttons pressed correctly, if you can both check out that screen, check out some of these highlights from back in the day.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my gosh.
We got the Logan Wildcats running wild. We'll see the Polar Bears, correct?
Yep.
In just a bit. I think it's a game against Huntington St. Joe.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know we had these. I started searching the schools, and there they were.
Those uniforms are the ugliest thing.
I mean, we're hooping.
The knee
pink
pads.
shoes.
We both have knee pads on.
Yeah. Was that the style back then?
It was.
Knee pads?
See, my coach made us. So if we didn't have knee pads and ankle braces, we weren't playing. And I was like,
I'm about to bring this style back because my
Might
knees
have
are
to.
beat.
No.
I tell you what I appreciate is the long sleeves that I see people wear out there. I used to do that when high school basketball practice. The gym would be so cold. Oh, and of course you're bumping on everyone. You're getting the burns and everything. So I do appreciate the long sleeves. That's a good look too.
Yes, I agree.
I agree too. Got to keep the arms warm, you know.
For sure. But what comes flooding back when you see those memories about just how far you all have come individually? I mean, those teenage girls there, I'm sure, had dreams and aspirations of playing college basketball, and that's not a dream anymore. You all are really superstars in Huntington. You're fan favorites. You're living out a dream. You're still writing the story. Isn't that just crazy? Because not everybody can say that, and you two can. So, Peyton, when you see those clips, what comes flooding back? Think back,
one specifically, I remember so vividly. Like, I got kind of like chills whenever I watched it. Was at Wayne because Coach Tony Kemper, that's the first game he ever had come to mind. And I felt so much pressure because I wanted to come to Marshall so bad. Like, this is my dream school to be at. I love Marshall. And I had a really good game that game. And after that game, he had called me and he had offered me a preferred walk-on position. So I just think back, and if I didn't play good that game, I might not be here today. So it really just is a testament to God's plan for me. And I'm definitely not the same player I used to be, and I'm just so thankful for my journey. And I'll always be thankful for Coach Tony Kemper for giving me a scholarship and an opportunity. So
it was that game that we just showed at Wayne?
Yes.
Do you remember how many points you had or what that game looked like?
I think I had like 27.
27?
Like,
okay.
I had like a really good game. Like, all glory to God.
Did
because
you know
I
he was there?
Yes, he had texted me before that he was going to come, and I remember just being a nervous wreck because I was like, this is my moment. Like, I have to do good.
Meredith, what comes to mind for you? I mean, 1,000-point scorer, all-state, and I'm sure there's plenty of accolades that if I tried to list them all off, we would be here forever, and I would forget probably some really important ones. But when you look back to your teenage self and the things you wanted to accomplish relative to what you have been able to accomplish, what comes to mind?
That girl doesn't even know what to expect. She doesn't even know what to expect, honestly. It's kind of crazy. I mean, transferring from Grafton to Fairmont Senior really changed my life. I lost a lot of friends, had the hate coming in because they were such rival. Well, not even necessarily rivals, but so close in county. And so it was just an uncomfortable situation, but I'm so glad that I was able to toughen up and actually make the commitment and do it, just because, I mean, it's gotten me so far, and I'm truly, truly blessed that for the coaches that I had at Fairmont Senior and the coaches that I had at Grafton, I don't give them as much credit, I guess, just because I graduated from Fairmont Senior, but I mean, Grafton raised me. I'm the same girl that I was whenever I was 8 years old in the gym by myself shooting at night with my dad. But I'm proud of myself because I can see the growth that I've had to overcome, and that the change that I've dealt with. I'm not the same person at all, but I'm really proud of that girl because she didn't stop, she didn't quit, and she didn't care what anybody said.
Yeah. It sounds like you had some big girl decisions to make before you were even a big girl. You know, I mean, you're a teenager, and that's a hard decision to make, and you're trying to think about your future. And I can't imagine. I'm sure that was hard, but I'm sure you wouldn't change it now, would you?
No, not at all. I mean, I go back because my family still lives in Grafton, so I go back home, and I'm able to reminisce. I still have a brother in high school at Grafton.
Awesome.
And so when I go there, I'm like, oh, this is awkward, but I just remember being in the gym late at night, and I was the only one in there with my brothers and my cousins, and they pushed me, and I was working on my shot. Thank goodness it got fixed eventually, but just putting in all the work, and it's a true testament to like what Peyton said, God's plan for me, because I didn't know what the future held, and I still don't, but I wouldn't change it for the world because it got me here today, and I'm loving every moment of it.
Watching you now, no one would know anything was ever wrong with you. So that's a good thing, right? Whatever that needed to be fixed, you've got it figured out.
A lot of late nights.
I'm sure. When you all go back home, what's it like? Oh, superstar, like you go back home and you're eating out, I don't know, but Giovanni's or something, whatever places you like to go eat in your hometowns. People come up to you, little girls want to talk to you, oh man, that's Meredith Maier, that's Peyton Ilderton. Does that happen? Does it happen around Huntington?
You want to go, or do you want me to go?
I can go.
Sure.
I mean, whenever I go back home in Logan, I feel like that can happen a lot, but I feel like I've done a good job of just staying humble and trying to give back to my community. There's a lot of girls I know look up to me, so I just try to be a good role model, but it is nice to go back home and be treated like a somebody, even though I'm just a girl from Logan, West Virginia.
Yeah.
So,
how about you, Meredith? What's it like when you head home?
I'd say the same. I have to visit 2 different counties sometimes,
Yep.
Recently, over Thanksgiving break, I got to go back and talk to Fairmont Senior Girls High School team. and kind of share some of my experience because they're under a new coach. Well, he was my assistant, and he got promoted to head coach. So I kind of got to share my story with them and give them a deeper insight of like how much work it took to get here. And so that really meant a lot, just because I can tell they look up to me and they have the same dreams and aspirations that I did when I was in their spot. And honestly, it's like sometimes you think it might not happen, and so to see somebody that was able to accomplish it, I think it kind of gives them hope, just because we don't know what the future holds. But if you put the work in, it can pay off. But then when I go back home to Grafton, I have a little cousin. I go to her basketball games, and I love watching her. But I like to kind of keep a low profile, just like enjoy the moments with my family as much as I can, just because I am further away, and so I don't get to see them as often. So I'm usually eating home-cooked dinners and chilling with my dog on the couch, watching some TV, like going to my cousin's basketball game. But, I mean, the support means the world. Like, I know I have little girls that look up to me, like Peyton said, and I just remember feeling the same way about people who are in my position now. And so it's really cool to see that translate to me being older. But I mean, it's really special. It's a really special feeling that I really can't just put into words. It means a lot, and I'm glad that I'm able to be a role model for them, and they can look up to me. And so I hope I do it justice.
Sure. I'm sure you do. Is it difficult for you all now that you've had these life experiences and you're so accomplished? People want to talk to you. Like I stopped at the gym the other day and say, "Hey, will you come on this show? Because we want to hear from you and hear about your story and the highs and lows, the ups and downs, what's worked, what hasn't." And somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, will you talk to my basketball team?" And you're probably thinking, I don't even know what to tell them, right? Does that thought cross your mind of like, maybe I haven't even stopped to think what my story even is, you know?
I feel like for me, I just try to think about how many people have poured into me. So it's important for me to do the same. I've had so many people that have given me the time of day. So I'm always going to do the same. And like me and Meredith have kind of talked about, just being role models for people. Hopefully people can see us being like a light in a community and can kind of follow in those steps. So that's just kind of how I would feel about that.
Sure. I'm going to switch gears a little bit, have some fun. What is the best place to eat at on campus? Or maybe off campus, just Huntington at large.
1, 2, 3.
Backyard.
Oh, I was going to say
Okay.
margarita.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess margaritas is more on campus. Backyard's off campus.
That was kind of
That makes sense.
You all were answering two different questions. One was on campus, one was
Yeah,
kind of off.
so
We were
off,
going to be on
right.
the same wavelength.
I didn't even think about margaritas because it's on campus, but margaritas on campus for sure. We're there too much.
Chips and salsa.
Oh,
Chips and salsa. I'm a big Chili's chips and salsa.
Oh, yeah.
I've only been to Margaritas a couple times, so next time I'm there, I'll think of
good.
you all, and
So
I'll make
good.
sure I'm really taking
Don't
it
know
in.
our names, so
Yeah.
you could.
Okay.
We're there.
You have a meal named
They
after
know
you
our
over there or
orders.
something?
Yeah, they know
Yeah.
our orders honestly by now.
We
We've
don't
been,
even open the menu.
since
Yeah.
freshman year. I mean, that's been our spot. But
Bring the salsa.
Backyard's a good.
Yeah.
If you want to get a little fancier,
Yep.
pizza, you can't go wrong with it. The
Okay.
Buffalano, I'm putting everybody on who's watching this.
Yep.
Buffalano is so good.
Okay. I'm sure the folks over there are going to appreciate you all plugging that. That's good
Yeah.
stuff. How about pregame meal? Because I'm sure that's a little different than just like your favorite meal. You can't just willy-nilly eat whatever you want, can you? So like tomorrow, I know it's kind of an earlier tip-off, so maybe it's breakfast, but typical pregame meal for you all.
This
Does
is gonna
Marshall
be-
provide that?
This is good. Well, yes.
Yes, Marshall will provide. But like I've been on a pancake kick here recently. So pancake and like an Alani.
Okay.
It's
mine's-
Now you're
weird.
talking my language with the Alani News now.
Mine's a little different. I have to eat some type of chocolate. Don't know what it is. My sophomore year was a Snickers bar. Last year it was something else. This year, it varies. But I always have an orange Celsius.
Orange Celsius.
Every single game. Orange Celsius will never go back.
There's Celsius downstairs in that fridge that we got the water out of.
I saw
I don't
that.
know what flavors.
I
are in
saw
there.
it was like
Same thing.
wild berry, I think.
Yeah.
But before a game, it has to be orange Celsius.
Orange Celsius.
If they don't have it on the road or if they don't have it at a gas station nearby, I'm bringing my own just in case. Like every away game.
Okay, so we're on the caffeinated beverages. What's your go-to Alani? This morning I had the Christmas cranberry one. I don't know what it's called, but that's
know
what I
you're
had.
talking about. My favorite is the cotton candy.
Cotton candy.
They just did a restock at Speedway, so.
They're everywhere.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah,
They're
the
my
Clark's
favorite.
Pump and Shop where I live in Ironton. It's all cotton candies.
Oh,
So.
that's 100% my favorite.
Okay, post game. What are we doing? This could be a meal. This could be a tradition you all have. We're going to be low key. I don't know. What are we doing post game?
Backyard and margaritas for me.
Yeah, I would say usually my family's at like every home game, so
You're spending
whatever my dad is feeling is
Okay.
usually what we go with. But
Cool.
yeah, it's usually backyard, I would
Yeah.
say.
Backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think what else I should ask you. Are there any do's and don'ts of being a Marshall University student that I can remember when I was a freshman at OU in Athens? They used to say, don't wear your lanyard outside of your pocket with your keys. They're going to know you're a freshman. Or don't walk in packs of 4 and 5 people at a time. They're going to know you're a freshman. Are there do's and don'ts here on this campus too?
I would say the only obvious one is no Mountaineer gear on
Yo.
Oh,
campus.
cannot.
No WVU
Right.
gear on campus.
Yeah.
There's a WVU helmet over there.
That's
There is a Marshall
big
one next door.
one.
None of that. You're a
That's a
brave
big
soul if you pop out on campus with some Mountaineer gear
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
See, it's funny because I'm closer to Morgantown than I am Huntington, obviously.
I half wondered if you grew up a Mountaineer fan, but I wasn't going to
Ew.
put you on the spot, but now I kind of have.
It's almost that team that you root for just because it's kind of close to home. But like, my dad's from like Tennessee, so like we've kind of always been a Vol fan in my family. But my whole family wears green now. I don't own any blue and gold. I'll never go back. I'm rooting green all the way. But yeah, don't wear Mountaineer gear on
Can't
campus.
do it.
It's like, it's just a red flag. You just don't.
Sacrilege.
Yeah.
You
it's
cannot
like,
do that around here.
What are we doing? Come on. You're just trying to get somebody just riled up or something.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing that, I don't know how the students feel about it. Of course, if you grew up a Marshall fan, that's a no-go. But the alums, for sure,
Yeah.
there is no playing both sides of the fence in that rivalry. That's just not a thing. So I'm sure you all have to check some people every so often. Last kind of tradition question I'll ask is pregame hype music. A lot of people like to be relaxed. Some people are just listening to podcasts. Other people are listening to the most epic hip-hop you could possibly imagine. Some people are more R&B. What are you all listening to
I
pregame?
listen to worship music.
Okay.
Pregame.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listen to worship music
Yeah.
too. I kind of have to settle myself down a little
Right.
bit. I can't get
Calms
too
me.
like pumped
Yeah.
up. It just gives me a calm slate. So
Yeah, I listen. That's my
Yeah.
go-to. It's
Yeah.
the only one that I've consistently actually listened to before a game. So
You mentioned it's a mental game.
It is.
So something that's going to get your mental and your spiritual right,
Mhm.
that makes a heck of a lot of sense.
Yep.
yeah.
One thing I just remembered, Jimmy Tracy wanted me to ask you guys this, especially you, playing in that arena down in Logan. I need to know what that's like. Meredith, have you ever played there?
never played.
I've never
I've
been.
been there.
You've
with
been
her.
there.
With
I
her.
try to tell everybody.
I need to hear this. What's it like?
I will always say we have one of the best like field houses, like places to play in the state for high school basketball. I remember in high school a Chapmanville Logan game. I mean, the biggest rivalry, and that whole gym can seat so many people, and it would be packed out for the whole JV game, standing room only, the light show. I mean, it's just such a special place to play in. And I remember my senior year when we were really good and we had a good stretch there. We had a huge student section, like all the boys teams would support us. So it is an awesome place to play in. And I mean, if you're ever near Logan and can catch a game, I mean, I haven't really seen an arena like it for high school sports in West Virginia.
I've never been. I've always wanted to. I mean, doing this job, I probably ought to make my way down there at some point. I've heard from some Logan folks, especially during this past football season, they were real good. And they're like, you got to come for Fired Up Friday at some point. It's like, oh, we will. We will. We schedule it out in advance. I'm not near as familiar with your neck of the woods because I'm from around here and I work here. So tell me about where you played. Does it have the same lore as what Logan's got?
I wouldn't say the same lore. So at Fairmont Senior, we play at the Armory.
Okay.
And it's not it's not close to our school. It's not attached to our school. It's like a separate building down the road. But it's a big building, and I'd say our most packed games were against our rival was North Marion. And so those games, just because it's a county matchup, so they're right in house, but those games get really packed. I mean, like Peyton said, we had like a huge student section, and then they would have a huge student section because they don't have to travel far. But it was always fun just because the environment, it's really cool to play in. And there's a lot of history. Just like I know the Fairmont Senior boys teams have always been good, like dating back to I don't even know how long ago. But like my coaches have played there for years and years. So I mean, it's cool. I'd say. I don't really know the history too well, but it's definitely.
You wrote some of it there.
Yeah,
so.
It's definitely a cool place, though. I mean, Grafton's always a good environment, I'd say too. Just the way the gym's set up. I mean, my brother. I only watch my brother, but my brother gets a good crowd, and so that's just cool. And I mean, I've played there for 2 years, so it's always fun to go back.
Outside of the CAM, you all have played in a lot of places. Any venues that come to mind, whether that's even back in the high school level, playing at the Coliseum, or now that you've been at Marshall, around the Sun Belt, wherever else. You all were in Bloomington earlier this year, right? I'm sure that was cool.
That was really cool.
What venues stick out to you that you've gotten to play in?
I would say the Indiana gym for sure.
Their gym was cool. Virginia Tech was cool. And then I would say in conference, my favorite gym to play in is Georgia State, and like our men's team is there right now, and I told them how cool it is. They have the windows, and you can see the city from it.
Yeah.
So playing there is really neat, especially because we usually play in the daytime, so you can see everything.
Is it downtown Atlanta pretty much, or just right outside downtown?
I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't know.
Because the football team plays pretty much downtown. I think it's where the Braves used to play.
It's like,
I'm pretty sure it is.
Like you drive across a bridge, and it's like right there.
Yeah.
It's so nice. So it's so pretty.
I like Georgia Southern's new gym's also really nice. It has the windows too. I don't like JMU whatsoever, but I think they have a really nice gym, as well as ODU. Also don't like them.
Okay.
But their gyms, I think they have good facilities.
You don't have to like anyone in the Sun Belt. You should.
Yeah, I don't. I definitely don't. But Virginia Tech was really cool. There was when the 90-minute buzzer went off and they opened the doors, you could there were swarms of people just like flooding in to get their seats. I mean, I've never seen anything like it, and it was nerve-wracking to say the least, but it was a really cool thing to just witness for sure.
Those seats are real steep in there, aren't they? Because it's kind of an older gym. I feel like everyone's on top of you.
Oh, they were.
It was literally insane. And like I feel like we get a lot of support here, women's basketball at Marshall, but to go play at a women's basketball school,
Powerhouse.
I mean, with Liz Kitley, Georgia Amore, I mean, it was so awesome, and it was an amazing experience to play in, despite the outcome.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was really cool.
and I mean, it gives us even more
Fire,
to do the same thing this year. I mean, that's an experience I'll never forget.
Yeah. What about Pensacola? I know Keith and Jimmy love going down there to cover you all.
It's freezing.
I
Is
love
it cold in
It's
there?
a hockey rink.
So they keep it cold.
Oh.
So the ice is probably underneath you.
It is.
Yeah.
And sometimes the floor gets a little slick. So,
Wow.
Hey, ref, can we get this cleaned up, please, before someone like breaks an ankle? But I mean, it's cool just because we've won on that floor. We have a lot of memories on that floor. We've grown on that floor, honestly. But it's really cold. That's the only thing I can say about it.
I love staying on the beach, but do not love the gym.
It's like
You all
you're
get to
packing
enjoy it
extra.
at all in between games?
Yeah,
You do?
Yeah, especially, I mean, it depends on the time of day that you're playing at. Before the game, you never really want to go out there, but it's nice to wake up and see the beach. And, you know, after a game, if you win, you get to go walk on it, watch the sunset. You know, there's good seafood around, so I always love that part. But, yeah, enjoy, like the beach part's great.
Yeah.
Love playing in Pensacola. The gym's just, you'd think you're in West Virginia.
Yeah, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Back to basketball a little bit, not to put the cart before the horse, but it is important to win these conference games for seeding in that thing, right? And you all have been on, I assume, kind of both sides of it, where you're waiting for an opponent versus playing every single day just to get yourself in contention, right? So how important is it for you all to keep winning these conference games, set yourself up once you get down there?
Yeah, I feel like that's something that has been such a big talk in our locker room, especially just our returners. We know how brutal that was last year. I mean, we could have had all the fight we wanted, but our bodies by that fifth day just gave out. So we've just known that these conference games mean more than we thought that they meant. So I feel like that's just the reason we have been so dialed in. We want to get one of the top 4 seedings. We don't want to play till the semifinal day. That would be much nicer than going the first day. So I think just knowing how important that is now, being on the other end of it, being the 13th seed, has definitely pushed us to be more locked in this year.
And then to add to that, I think because we have a senior-led team, I mean, there's 6 of us, it means so much more just because the majority of us don't have another year to, like, hopefully get another win. And so every game that we go into, it's like, okay, this is going to set us up for success or it's going to set us up for failure. And so we're taking that with us each day. And like Peyton said, like, those 5 days were rough. They were not easy on any of us. So we want to make sure we're getting to the top as much as possible.
And I'm sure you just kind of talked about it, the urgency of, this is my senior year. I know that you all are going to have a few more cracks at it, but this is all I've got. So we need to make sure we set ourselves up now. Then we'll cheer for you next year too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, this is important because this is our last go, and
Yeah.
we gotta cash in when we can.
Yeah, and I think our underclassmen are amazing with that too, just because I think that they know that this is a really talented team, and you never know if you'll get a team like this again. So I think that they are very aware that every game means something too.
And it helps that we're so close with each other on the team too, because it's like this is our last time doing it together, and so we don't get another one of these. And so I think it means more, not just for us because we're seniors, but for everybody, because it's like this is never going to happen again.
Yeah.
So
This particular group will never play again, even for the ones that come back. Some may not. You're going to get new folks in, new recruits as well. So regardless, this is the last time this group gets to play ball. So I'm sure there's that urgency no matter what class you're in.
For sure.
Well, ladies, let's wrap this thing up. I always ask our athletes when we bring them in this question sort of at the end. And it's kind of a two-parter. It's something you can kind of answer it however you want. Number one would be like, what would you say to a little girl who wants to be like you? And the second part of it would be, how would you like to be remembered? And this is really not basketball related at all. This is just life, however you want to answer it. So, Peyton, tell me, what would you say to a little girl who would like to be in your shoes one day, and how would you like to be remembered when this thing's all said and done?
I would just say to continue to work hard no matter what. There's always going to be setbacks, but it's how you overcome those setbacks. There's been so many times in my career that I've thought about just hanging up the jersey, but like you said, it's once you push through, it can be so much greener on the other side. And for me, that is something that has really played out. So I would just say never give up and just be resilient, because you learn so much about yourself through the ups and downs of basketball. So I would just say that. And then what I would like to be remembered as is just like a light. I take pride in that, just being the loudest one at practice every day, being somebody that if your head's down, like I want to cheer you up. So just taking that from me, being somebody that's going to make somebody else's day better.
Meredith, we'll go to you. Had a little bit of time to think about it. I'm sure you're probably thinking, I could answer this so many ways. So how would you like to be remembered, and what would you tell maybe your younger self or a little girl who wants to be the next Meredith Maier?
I'd tell a younger girl to trust the process, just because, like I've mentioned throughout this time, you don't know what tomorrow brings, but you can enjoy today. And so just trusting the process. And like Peyton said, like going through these setbacks, and it's going to happen regardless if you want it to or not, you learn a lot about yourself. And so trusting the process, keeping faith, and, staying the course for sure. And then working hard to add on to that. But I would like to be remembered as someone who gave it their all in a basketball sense, who never gave up. And then someone who really, I genuinely care so much, and I feel like that's kind of, I think it translates on the court, but I mean, I care about every single person on our team and on our staff, and people that are in the behind the scenes. I just care a lot, and so I'd like to be remembered as someone who really cared. Yeah.
Well, I certainly appreciate both of you coming up here and being an open book. This went places I didn't know it was going to go. We were talking about Alani News and margaritas, all kinds of stuff, right? So this was great. I hope you all realize just how influential you all can be for little kids, and not even that. I'm sure there's going to be adults that listen to this and are like, I can take a piece of that too. So thank you for sharing your stories. We'll be following it, of course. Need a W tomorrow. Won't hold it against you if something crazy happens. It's hard to win basketball games. I know, especially in conference. It's a grind, right? So we won't hold it against you, but we feel good about it, right?
Yeah.
So thank you all. Stay put. I'm going to take this show home, and then we'll get you out of here. All right. Thank you. That was Peyton Ilderton, Meredith Maier, Marshall Women's Hoops. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was a sweet episode of WSAZ Sports Plus. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I hope they enjoyed it as well. I cut their mics so they can't tell me whether or not they liked it or not. Almost an hour we spoke. A lot of lessons, a lot of stories you can pull from that and apply it to your life, I think. I think it's good stuff. So the Marshall Women's Hoops program is in good hands, and if your daughters and sons look up to these folks, I think you can trust that. Good people here. So with that being said, I want to remind you that these episodes live on the WSAZ Plus app at all times. So if you're watching the stream right now, and you're getting ready to, maybe go to the game tomorrow, maybe you're listening to the podcast version, you can always go back and rewatch this. This thing's on YouTube. It's on the WSAZ app. It's on WSAZ.com. I think I mentioned Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We're everywhere. We're going to have clips of this show posted on Instagram and TikTok and X as well, Twitter. That's what I still call it. So just want to make sure you know where to find it. You'll see all of our other previous episodes. We make it easier for you to find it, too. It's right here, this QR code that you can scan. Take your phone out, scan that crazy thing, bang, Sports Plus episodes populate for you. Take a listen. With that said, we will see you, I assume, Wednesday night for our 9 o'clock stream. We're going to try to get Keith and Jimmy back in here at the same time like we did last week. So, go Herd. I know we're supposed to be impartial, but since they're sitting here, go Herd. Follow these girls, follow the men's team playing some really good basketball. There's a buzz around Huntington, so we appreciate them carving out some time. For now, I'm Joseph Payton. This has been WSAZ Sports Plus.